Welcome back to Philadelphia. I'm Pam Oliver. Boy, these gusty winds, a big concern in this ball game here today. Watched in warm-ups as this wind just gave the kickers fits. I talked to Jake Elliott about that. He said 1 minute it's dead calm, the next minute it's swirling like crazy. As how would it affect some of the play calls today? Doug Peterson told me it will likely impact some of the things that he wants to do in the deep passing game. Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Pam. Doug Peterson in his third season as Eagles head coach. Eagles haven't played in 10 days since a Thursday night win over the Giants. Ron Rivera's Panthers coming off a 6-point defeat to the Redskins on the road last Sunday. Panthers at 3-2, looking for their first win on the road this season. Eagles 3-3, 2-1 here at home. Carolina has won the toss, elected to defer. DeAndre Carter back deep for the Eagles. Graham Gano will get things started. Well, Pam talked about the wind, Charles.
Didn't take long for it to show up, did it? And she did mention that 1 minute is swirling and 1 minute is calm, and the kickers did mention how that's difficult to gauge.
We are underway in Philadelphia. Eagles will start at their 25-yard line as Carson Wentz leads the Philadelphia offense onto the field. His fifth start over his last three. 7 touchdowns, no interceptions.
And people were wondering, how would he be coming back after the knee injury and the time that he missed? Heard our guys talking about it in pregame. I think Howie Long said that he looked about the same to him as he looked when he went out, and Carson told us that in our meeting. He said he didn't feel any different than he did last year, and you'll notice it mostly when he's moving around. He's not moving with any fear in and out of the pocket.
Wendell Smallwood in the backfield. On 1st and 10 from the 25. Wentz swings it out. And Aguilar is brought down by Shaq Thompson at the 25. No gain on the play. Eagles offensive line, some injuries during the week. Peters and Johnson.
Yeah, and they're both going to go today, and we'll see how long they're able to last. But the big target, is, of course, is number 86, Zach Ertz. He really gets things going for their offense. While out wide, number 17, Alshon Jeffrey, gives them an identity of toughness.
Second and 10. Wentz loses the football, and he will fall on it back at the 15.
It's one of those days that's got that, Pam talked about the wind, and there's a little dryness to it, and sometimes that makes the ball a little slicker for a quarterback. It's not just necessarily the rain and the moisture. Sometimes it's dry, and the ball just comes out of his hand. As he draws it back to throw it, just squirted out.
Loss of 10 yards on the play. Now 3rd down and 20 for the Eagles on their opening possession. Eagles must get to the 35 for a first down. As Wentz throws high, he was looking for Jeffrey. Eagles go 3 and out. We'll punt it away.
Something we'll keep an eye on during the game. Alshon Jeffrey, number 17 for the Eagles, and there's an injury early. That's Mario Addison, the defensive end for Carolina. But will James Bradbury, number 24, their number 1 corner, continue to travel with Alshon Jeffrey as he did in the first series?
So Addison down. He leads the Panthers with 3.5 sacks this season, had 11 last year. So the Panthers medical staff tending to Addison. Back in a moment. Mario Addison injured on the last play as the Eagles get set to punt. Damiere Byrd, Camden, New Jersey native, and Philadelphia native DJ Moore, both deep for Carolina. Johnston's punt taken at the 38 by Moore. A return of 4 out to the 42. 47-yard kick as Cam Newton leads the Carolina offense out for the first time. Over his first 8 seasons, 224 total touchdowns, passing and rushing. That's tied for 3rd all time with a fellow by the name of Brett Favre.
Pretty significant company that he's keeping. And I'm eager to see them get their run game going in, get back to their identity. But I do believe they need to take some shots downfield. Whether they're successful or not, they've got to push some people away from the box in the middle of the field and open up some running lanes.
On first down, it's McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey out to midfield. The number 4 rush offense going up against the number 2 run defense. A gain of 9 for McCaffrey.
Watch Taylor Mouton right there. Watch this block coming. Look at him just move him to the side, and then look there, and then right in here, you end up getting a double with Ryan Khalil and number 70 Trey Turner. Khalil number 67 the center. End up doubling there. Mouton takes care of his guy on the perimeter and opens up a nice lane for McCaffrey for their first run of the game.
2 tight ends set. Olsen and Manhertz. Olsen shifts into the backfield. On 2nd and 1. McCaffrey across midfield picks up the Carolina Panthers first down.
You see what we've got going today. Panthers offense, a couple of weeks, these last 2 weeks have not been up to what they were doing earlier this year, but still significant. 4th in the league in running the football. Eagles defense 2nd in defending the run. And the battle's going to be won, I think, inside. Ryan Khalil 67, Trey Turner 70, Greg Van Roten 73. Can they block these big guys like Fletcher Cox and Trayvon Hester and create some space?
Olsen comes in motion, 1st and 10 from the Eagles 49. As Newton looks to throw, and that is off the hands of Devin Funchess. Ronald Darby defending, 2nd and 10. A look at the Panthers offensive line, the 5-time Pro Bowler Khalil in the middle.
And we just talked about where the battle will be won. The center and the 2 guards have to handle the defensive tackles of Philadelphia. And out wide, number 17, Devin Funchess, their most reliable wide receiver. But they are so happy to have Greg Olsen back at tight end. He will be Cam Newton's primary target.
Olsen's 2nd game back. On 2nd and 10, it's McCaffrey to the 44-yard line. Jalen Mills the tackle, a gain of 5 to Los Angeles. Carissa Thompson.
Thank you, Kenny. Vikings Jets opening drive for the Vikings, and Kirk Cousins with a very familiar target, Adam Thielen, for this 34-yard score. Thielen's 5th touchdown on the season. As you know, Thielen leads the league in receptions. They're up early, 7-0. Kenny?
What a season it has been. 58 receptions for Thielen coming into this weekend. McCaffrey, top of your screen, split out wide to the left. 3rd down and 5. Empty backfield. Newton on 3rd down, over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Greg Olsen, so now the Panthers will punt it away.
Just because that was incomplete, that doesn't mean that Carolina goes away from it. They had the matchup that they wanted. Greg Olsen on a linebacker. Nigel Bradleman did a nice job staying with him, but they had the potential for the completion there. Let's look for them to continue to spread the field and try and find openings for Greg Olsen inside.
Carter back deep. Pilardi averaging 46.5 yards per kick this season. 42 net. Punt sails into the end zone. Carson Wentz and the Eagles will start from the 20 when we return. Addison on the left suffered the back injury earlier. Probable to return. 17-year vet Julius Peppers on the right. Eagles went 3 and out on their first possession. Start from the 20. On first down, this is Smallwood. Eric Reed makes the tackle. Now we take you back just prior to the coin toss. There's Reed in the upper right having words with the Eagles' Malcolm Jenkins. We actually asked Jenkins about Eric Reed when we met with him on Friday. He said, I'm happy Eric is back in the league. I am proud of what he has stood for.
Yeah, and you know, that there, sometimes when you get into competition, all that goes out the window, and that has the feeling of something that's outside of the game today, and they'll work that out in their own time.
Second down and 9, following the tackle by Reed on the last play. Play action. Wentz steps up and throws, and the catch is made out of the 36. For a first down, Zach Ertz gains 15.
How about the protection there from his offensive line? You mentioned how they're banged up a little with Jason Peters and, of course, Lane Johnson. But watch the protection here. No one near him, which allows Carson Wentz now to climb the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, and make a nice throw. Notice he throws it back inside on Zach Ertz because Eric Reed was lurking to the outside. He let Ertz's body shield Reed away from the ball. Really good throw.
Ertz second in the league in receptions behind Thielen. Eagles set up the screen. This is Corey Clement. Out across the 45 for another Philadelphia first down.
And early in this game, Doug Peterson's game plan is coming into focus for us. A lot of misdirection, a lot of trying to get this fast-flowing Carolina Panthers defense moving in one direction and hit them back in the other. They actually used the Panthers' aggressiveness against themselves on that one, throwing the screen pass to nice effect.
Clement gained 11. Aguilar in motion from the 46-yard line. It's Clement. Tripped up. Gain of 4 out to midfield. Shaq Thompson the tackle. Second down and 6. Early first quarter in Philadelphia. Eagles and the Panthers.
A new tailback in the game, Kenny, number 33, Josh Adams, the undrafted rookie out of Notre Dame.
On the toss, it's Adams. Into Panthers territory. During his collegiate career, Charles, at Notre Dame, he averaged 6.7 yards per carry. That's number 1 all time for the Fighting Irish.
That allows you to play ahead of the sticks, doesn't it? Right? That allows you to stay on schedule. Every cliche an offensive coordinator would give us. Josh Adams, 6.7 yards per carry average in college, gives you that opportunity. And now they're set up on 3rd and short. This is 3rd and much more than manageable.
Clement in the backfield. Wentz outstanding against the Giants on 3rd down last Thursday. It's Clement, and he will not get there. Luke Kuechly in on the tackle for the Panthers. Now keep in mind, Doug Peterson has gone for it on 4th down since taking over here in Philadelphia more than any other team.
And he didn't even hesitate. No. That was an easy one for him. As you take a look at what he's done, to your point, Kenny, this since 2016 when he took over, by far the highest in the NFL in all of those categories.
4th down attempts and conversions, 2-point attempts and conversions. And now
they got to reset the ball. It ended up rolling away or getting kicked away from Jason Kelce, the center.
Yep, there's that wind again. So on 4th and 1, Eagles send in 3 tight ends. Jeffrey in motion. It's Wentz on the sneak. Half an Eagles first down.
Just what you mentioned. Look at all that mass up front. And now watch the surge. Kelce 62 in the middle leading it. Seumalo 73, Brooks 79. And that was a textbook way to run the quarterback sneak. Get down low, burrow in behind those big guys up front, and just follow them into the gap.
Eagles now 5 for 7, Charles, this season on 4th down. 8th play of the drive. Adams in the backfield. From the 44, this is Adams, runs right into the arms of Kuechly, but keeps on going. and gains 4 yards down to the 40. And now a flag back behind the play. Some extracurricular activity.
And Eric Reed might need a timeout. And what I mean by that is they might need to get him off the field and make sure he's adjusted properly to play the game. Let's see how it starts. See what happens. The ball's long gone, and he's tackling their quarterback. There's going to be a confrontation when that happens.
Personal fouls against both teams. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 86. Personal foul, defense, number 25. This penalty's offset. Result of the play stands.
That ball was long gone out of Carson Wentz's hands as he's handing off. They treated him like a runner, and I guess the official determined, is it there? But look, it's just a simple handoff. It's not even a run-pass option. So he's tackling back there. He can say, well, maybe it's a play fake. So the official let that go. But trust me on this, and you just saw it. You tackle the quarterback, you didn't have the ball, someone's going to take offense, and Zach Ertz did, and that's why we have what's going on here.
Ertz came in to defend his quarterback. Penalties offset. Second down and 6 off the fake to Smallwood. Pass is caught by Aguilar. Short gain, just 2. Run out of bounds by Thompson. Down to Pam.
Yeah, Kenny, Carson Wentz facing off a group of linebackers who are considered among the best in the NFL, and a middle linebacker in Luke Kuechly, who is the best in the NFL. Wentz told us, as good as they are, you can't over-worry about those linebackers. In fact, he said it's better to go right at them. A lot, he said, will depend on play calling. Among some of the things Doug Peterson told us he wants to do, the misdirection that Charles already mentioned, and the use of play action to try to get an advantage. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Pam. Third down and 5. Eagles must get to the 34 for a first down. As Wentz fires, looking for Aguilar, incomplete. So now 4th down and 5. And again, Doug Peterson going forward on 4th down, no surprise.
And part of that is they are punting it, or they would be kicking it into the wind. So you're not even thinking about an extremely long field goal here. And he likes his offensive unit. A lot of people would say punt it and play defense here, but he likes what he's doing with his offense, keeps him on the field.
2 tight ends, 4th down and 5. Eagles need the 34. Wentz with time, he throws. It is Jeffrey. He made the catch. It is ruled that he came down in bounds for an Eagles first down.
Let's see if he comes down with, there's the catch. 1 foot down, 2nd foot coming down. See the toe? Yes, he's got them both scraping the grass and possessing the football. Big time catch by Alshon Jeffrey in front of James Bradbury. But how about the blitz pickup? The protection for Carson Wentz, because Carolina brought people, they picked him up, allowed him to make the throw to Jeffrey.
So the Eagles have converted twice on 4th down on this drive. 3 tight ends, small one up the middle, inside the 15, down to the 10. And a flag at the end of the play following the 15-yard run by Smallwood.
We'll have to see what the flag is, but Pam Oliver said that Carson Wentz said they had to run at the linebackers of Carolina. They did exactly that on that play. Handled the inside and ran directly into the teeth of them.
Personal foul, illegal chop block, offense number 71. It's a 15-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
That's on the left tackle, Jason Peters.
But that usually means that the person's engaged. Let's see if someone's engaged with someone when he makes the block. Say about, well, he just grabs Luke Kuechly. So I don't know where the chop block is. It's not a chop block, but it is a grab of Luke Kuechly. So right here, to the left of your screen, right in here, would be the illegal chop. So that's what it is. They called on Peters. He grabbed Kuechly, and it would have been a penalty to me by how he grabbed him, but they did get the chop in there underneath it.
So instead of a 15-yard gain, it's a loss of 15 on the penalty. As Wentz hits his rookie tight end, Dallas Goedert. And Goedert gains back a big chunk of yardage down to the 19-yard line of the Panthers. The 2nd-round pick out of South Dakota State gains 21.
It may have gotten a penalty, but watch. He looks out to the right, and then he comes back left for the screen. Here's Goedert, the tight end. He lets him clear inside of him, and then look at the 3 guys in front. Kelsey, 62, one of the guys, and right there, Mike Adams does a nice job eluding Kelsey to try and get Goddard on the ground. He runs through him before the rookie, Rashawn Dalton, gets him down. The misdirection is in effect.
13th play of the drive. The handoff to Clement. And he's bottled up after a short gain down to the 18-yard line. K'Wan Short in on the tackle for Carolina. So it will be 3rd down and 3 for the Eagles.
What was the phrase that Doug Peterson told us in our meeting? You want to make sure that you are taking Luke Kuechly and tricking his eyes, because he's so good as a defensive play caller of making checks when he thinks you're going to run a certain set. They want to trick his eyes and get him moving. Hence, you're seeing a lot of movement, a lot of motion, a lot of going from one side to the other.
The Eagles have had the ball over 8 minutes as Wentz throws. That one was nearly picked off by Captain Munnerlyn, who was grabbed. And now the Eagles will send out the field goal unit.
Watch Ertz ends up becoming a defender instead of a receiver. He realizes he can't get it, and he just grabs Captain Munnerlyn's jersey, number 41, and keeps him away. He ends up becoming the defensive back, does a little pass interference, and gets away with it.
Here's Jake Elliott out to attempt a 36-yard field goal from the left hash. Elliott's kick is no good from 36. So after a long drive by the Eagles, they come away with nothing. Aerial coverage brought to you by State Farm here in Philadelphia. Kenny Albert, Charles Davis, Pam Oliver. A 15-play drive. Eagles lead the league in time of possession, held the ball for over 8 minutes, come away with nothing.
Yeah. We saw everything that Pam Oliver talked about it in her report, talking with Doug Peterson and what they were going to try and do today, but didn't pay off with any points. And they were fortunate to get away at the end of it, not getting a penalty against Zach Ertz.
From the 26, play action on 1st down as Newton throws and it's broken up. Beautiful defensive play made by Malcolm Jenkins on the pass intended for the former Eagle, Torrey Smith.
What a fantastic play by Malcolm Jenkins, the safety. He kept falling back into that coverage and had to go a long distance to reach out an arm and just get a hand on it and knock it away. Otherwise, I think that was a big-time completion. Newton to Torrey Smith.
Jenkins, the leader of an Eagles secondary, injury depleted. On 2nd down, McCaffrey found a hole, picks up a 1st down and more. Christian McCaffrey out across the 40, forced out of bounds at the 41-yard line, gain of 15.
They're finding early success on this side of the line. Moton 72, Turner and Khalil with another double team. Look at Moton engage, Turner engage, Khalil engage. And that creates space for the exciting young runner out of Stanford, Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey off to an outstanding start this season, Charles, among the league leaders in scrimmage yards per game. Here's McCaffrey again. Jenkins in on the tackle once again to Los Angeles. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Pats Bears, no Gronk, no problem. Pats opening drive, Brady to Edelman, 9-yard score. Bears would add a field goal, so Pats up 7-3. Kenny, Charles, and Pam.
Well, he certainly completed that play like Gronk would, didn't he, Carissa? Catch, run through some people, get in the end zone.
Sure did.
But you got to like early in this game what Carolina's offensive line is doing. They haven't had as many opportunities. The Eagles have kept the ball a long time. But they're running plays early in this game. Nice space for Christian McCaffrey to find.
On 2nd and 10, Newton in trouble. Down he goes. Back at the 30-yard line, Michael Bennett with his 3rd sack of the season.
And this is why they acquired Michael Bennett, coming off the edge here, number 77. Working against Chris Clark, who's replacing Matt Khalil, who they're hoping to get back in the next few weeks. And that one was fairly easy for Michael Bennett. Essentially just bull rushed him and got past him. And there they are, those kicker's pads that Michael Bennett wears. I'm not even sure you can call them pads. I'm not even sure you can do that.
He's brought those pads, Charles, to the last 3 Pro Bowls. 3rd down and 18. Newton's pass cannot be handled by DJ Moore, so the Panthers will punt it away.
And field position becomes a key in a game like this. And I know we didn't get a chance to go back and show the Zach Ertz potential penalty, but that would have been a big one because it would have set back Philadelphia, maybe changed field position for where Carolina started on offense. And now where they're punting here, Philadelphia should get decent field position themselves.
Velarde back to punt for the 2nd time. DeAndre Carter deep for Philadelphia. Carter from the 13 breaks away from the first tackle attempt and takes it out to the 27-yard line. 54-yard punt. No score. Late first quarter in Philly. Late first quarter in Philadelphia. Eagles start from their 26, 3 and out on their first possession, and then a 15-play drive, culminating with the missed field goal from just 36 yards out by Elliott. 23 seconds remaining in the quarter. Wentz hands it off. Clemens out to the 35-yard line. Or excuse me, it was Adams. Adams on first down, picking up 9.
The defensive front of Carolina is so quick upfield that they're throwing a lot of quick hitters at them right now as Philadelphia trying to take advantage of that and go past them as they try and move upfield and make a play in the backfield.
So the first quarter comes to an end. Eagles and Panthers scoreless. First quarter numbers, Panthers ran only 10 plays, 22 yards. Eagles have the ball for over 10 minutes.
Yeah, and there's both of them 0-4 in 3rd downs, but the Eagles 2 for 2 on 4th downs.
Second and 1 off the fake to Clement. Wentz fires and it's caught for a first down. Out at midfield by Zach Ertz. Well, Carson Wentz returned in week 3. Look at his numbers, Charles, in his first 4 games last season and this season.
And he has steadily risen in quarterback rating, in the passer rating. Every game it's gotten better. Last week, 122 against the New York Giants. So Carson Wentz increasingly comfortable, and what a nice job of blitz pickup there by Corey Clement allowed him to find Zach Ertz downfield.
Wentz 7 for 10 today. He's hit 5 different receivers. Smallwood in the backfield. Takes the handoff from Wentz. Unable to get it back to the line of scrimmage. So it will be 2nd and 10 coming up for Philadelphia. Early second quarter in a scoreless game.
And that was KK Short, number 99, Dontari Poe, number 95. Those two are very hard to root out of there when you're an offensive lineman trying to block. They've had good success so far, but on that play, you saw the strength of the defensive line, the defensive front of the Carolina Panthers. Those two hard to move on certain running plays.
Addison has yet to return for Carolina. Injured early in the first quarter. Second down at 11 as Wentz throws. It's caught by Ertz for first down. His 3rd reception today, 51st of the season for the Carolina 29-yard line.
Zach Ertz is a tight end, and we say it all the time, masquerading as a wide receiver. The Carolina Panthers' plan coming into this game was to make sure he didn't get free releases. In other words, off the offensive line and no one there on top of him, no one there hitting him and rerouting him. When he gets a free release into the secondary, this is often the result. Eric Reed with the tackle to put him down, but a big pickup for a first down.
21 yards for Ertz. Smallwood in the backfield from the 29. Alshon Jeffrey makes the catch, breaks free inside the 10, and then forced out of bounds by Luke Kuechly. Another Eagles first down.
So watch the combo. Ertz goes inside. Jeffrey goes outside. Shaq Thompson and Eric Reid misses on the tackle coming from the outside in. And look at what Jeffrey makes. Reid miss there. Thompson misses up high. And Jeffrey continues to matriculate it down the sideline.
20-yard catch and run for Jeffrey. First and goal from the 9. Smallwood again running into the arms of Kuechly. His 7th season with Carolina. Since entering the league, Kuechly has more tackles than anybody else in the entire NFL.
And that's one guy who doesn't miss very often. And he didn't miss there, Luke Kuechly.
Now this Carolina red zone defense has struggled. They've allowed touchdowns on 9 of the 11 possessions they faced this season.
And find out where Ertz is right away, and Shaq Thompson, 54, is matched up with him. That's where I would look right now if I'm Carson Wentz.
Second and goal. Wentz, end zone, touchdown, Jeffrey.
The Eagles touchdown demonstrations, they keep working on them. That one supposed to look like a corner kick.
And now they have to hustle off the field because the play clock is down to 10 as they line up for the extra point.
Plenty of time now. Everyone's out there. They've got 5 seconds. They should be fine.
Elliott's kick is good. 4th touchdown reception of the season for Jeffrey. 11 yards from Wentz. 7-0 Eagles. All smiles for Carson Wentz. He was perfect on the drive, 4 for 4. Alshon Jeffrey with his 7th touchdown in the last 6 games.
And you know what Alshon's pet phrase is for the Philadelphia Eagles? If someone asks about our team, guys, you tell them nobody's messing with us. And they didn't on that last drive.
Curtis Samuel on the return for Carolina. Out across the 30 to the 35-yard line.
So this is how much respect Zach Ertz gets. Right here is Shaq Thompson. And then they bring over Eric Reid to take a look. But also here, you have one-on-one there and one-on-one here. So you can't help. So Alshon Jeffrey is by himself out there with James Bradbury. Fakes him inside, gets outside. So Zach Ertz wants to go to, Carson Wentz wants to go to Zach Ertz. They take that away. You go to your best guy out on the perimeter, and Jeffrey punches it in.
Now the Panthers back on offense. McCaffrey, bottom of the screen, split out wide to the left as Samuel was taken down back at the 30 for a loss of 5 yards.
You know, coming into this game, Ron Rivera, the head coach of the Panthers, said to beat the champ, to be the champ, you've got to beat the champ. Well, doesn't this look like a wrestling move here from Derek Barnett? He really thinks that Cam Newton may have the ball and inadvertently trips Curtis Samuel to make the play. So Ron Rivera goes all Ric Flair, and Derek Barnett finishes it off with his move.
Second down and 15. Newton has completed just 1 pass today. He's 1 for 5. Empty backfield on second down. Newton in trouble. And then he throws it away. Under pressure from Brandon Graham as we head to Los Angeles for a game break. Kurt.
Well, things not going well for the Patriots at Chicago. They fumbled the kickoff at the 24-yard line. Mitchell Trubisky, he may have run about 60 yards to total this. It winds up being officially an 8-yard score, gives the Bears a 10-7 lead. And just moments ago, New England's spectacular rookie running back, Sony Michel, left the game with what appears to be a very serious leg injury. Kenny and Charles?
All right, thanks very much, Kurt. 3rd down and 15 for Cam Newton in Carolina. Newton under pressure again, moving to his right. directing traffic. And he is knocked out of bounds about 2 yards shy of the marker. Jordan Hicks made the play. So the Panthers will punt it away.
Philadelphia backed everyone off and just essentially guarded the first down sticks and said you can have as much space as you want all the way up to that. Cam Newton ate up a lot of ground but didn't get there, so they'll have to punt the ball away. Jim Schwartz, the defense coordinator, just played the percentages. So let's just get the ball back, and it looks like that's exactly what they accomplished.
Good series for the Eagles defensively. As they get the ball back, Carter moving to his left at the 11, and he is brought down immediately by Curtis Samuel. 46-yard punt. So a rough start offensively for Newton and the Panthers. They trail the Eagles 7-0. Eagles have outgained the Panthers by a wide margin. Carolina's had the ball for just over 6 minutes, yet it's only a 7-point game.
Only 7-point game, and if you turn things to the Carolina defense, if they can make a play here, get a takeaway in this area of the field and help their offense out, they can be right back in this one.
Eagles start from the 12, Clement in the backfield. Wentz looking to throw, pump fake, and now he fires downfield, and it is Jeffrey who makes the catch. A spectacular catch by Jeffrey with Bradbury defending for an Eagles first down out at the 41.
Kenny, this is the standard. The defensive back doesn't see the ball. The receiver does. Stop and go. Bradbury's got his back to it, never sees the ball at all. Jeffrey sees it coming and makes the adjustment. That's what they call uncovering downfield, because the coverage wasn't bad at all by Bradbury, but the fact that he can't see the ball allows Jeffrey to uncover and go take it out of the air.
29 yards. Jeffrey's had an outstanding first half. He has the Eagles touchdown. From the 41 on first down, Wentz steps up and throws. This time it's Ertz who makes the catch along the far sideline.
Protection was again good for Carson Wentz, allowed him to climb the pocket. The throw was excellent, but again, Mike Adams finds the ball late, and now you've got a size discrepancy. 5'11" versus 6'5".
And now Clement is taken down back behind the line by Thomas Davis following the back-to-back receptions of 29 and 27 yards.
That play by Thomas Davis had to feel okay enough already, didn't it? I'm back, second game. He played very well last week in his first one against Washington with 6 tackles, 2 passes broken up, and he brings an extra energy to his defense and an extra belief that they can be good because he's on the field.
He sure does. 4-game suspension to start the season. As you mentioned, outstanding in his return against Washington last week. And he causes the loss of 3 on the previous play, and now this one is blown dead. False start.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
It's Jason Peters, his second penalty today.
He's had a tough go. Remember, he tore his MCL, ACL last year during the season, battled back and made it to the beginning of this season. But since then, he's had a quad injury, a bicep injury that he's playing with today. You see the knee brace from the injury last year, and he struggled a little bit with penalties along the way as he tries to get himself back in the flow.
Good news for Carolina. Addison has returned. Matched up with Peters. Second down at 18. Here's Aguilar. Aguilar spins inside the 30. Down to the 27-yard line.
Nice pickup, but they came close to getting even more. Watch number 79, Brooks, in the middle, right here. See, if he's able to get ahead of Aguilar, he becomes the lead blocker for him, but instead Aguilar gets ahead of him, does a double spin move to pick up additional yardage, but if he was able to get behind 79, they had open space that was there and could have become an even bigger play.
Addison back, Eric Reed on the sideline, Charles, replaced by Rashawn Golden. Third down and 5. Wentz looking to throw, could not find anyone. It is Addison who brings him down.
And that means the coverage was good. And what did Mario Addison tell you, me, and Pam about playing in this game today?
He's finally healthy, at least heading into the game. He was injured early in the first quarter, but he was so excited because he said the previous 2 games the Panthers have played against the Eagles, he has not been close to 100%.
Good to have him back, and good to see him back on the field after the earlier injuries. The Eagles attempt the field goal.
46-yard attempt. Elliott missed from 36 earlier from the left hash. This one is good. Just inside the right upright, extending the Eagles' lead. Couple of big pass plays from Wentz. 10-0 Philadelphia. Check out these numbers, Charles. Cam Newton only 1 completion. Wentz has thrown for 198 yards.
And it's going to be even tougher now because Cam Newton's going against the wind for the rest of the half. And remember the field goal attempt by Elliott into the wind? That ball essentially died on him. The one he just made with the wind still had plenty of carry. So it's a tough task for Cam and the offense trying to throw the ball against that wind, I believe.
Panthers will start from their 25-yard line, trailing the Eagles 10-0. Charles, I know you'll be glued to the TV on Tuesday night.
Can't wait. It's going to be a blast. And this is not starting pitcher versus opener as we had with Milwaukee and Los Angeles. This is starting pitcher versus starting pitcher. If Chris Sale's healthy, I imagine he gets the ball for the Red Sox. And did I not see last night in the 9th inning that Clayton Kershaw closed things out?
You did.
Will he be able to come back and take the ball?
Well, yesterday was his day to throw.
Yeah.
So it should be all right for game 1.
So we could have Kershaw and Sale to get us going.
Dodgers, Red Sox, Game 1 World Series. Joe Buck, John Smoltz and the gang, Tuesday night on Fox. Play clock at 2. Off the fake to McCaffrey. Second completion for Newton, it's Olsen. He gains 4. Speaking of the wind, let's check in with Pam.
Yeah, let me tell you, boy, 1 minute you're feeling it down here. The wind is very unpredictable. The wind is swirling more than it is just one end to the other. And that said, now it's changing from side to side. So just imagine what these players are going through right now.
And Pam, wasn't that Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator of the Panthers' #1 concern about today?
Yes, it was. He denied it when I saw him. They pretended like that wasn't the case, but yeah, it sure was.
2nd and 6. Diving catch is made by Funchess. Norv's up here not too far from our booth, but he was concerned about how the wind would affect these throws.
It's funny about this game, isn't it? The 2 guys wearing 17 for their respective teams are both wide receivers and both jumbo-sized wide receivers. You see Funchess going inside and making the nice catch against the pressure of the Eagles.
McCaffrey flips it back. And it's Darius Wright who takes it all the way inside the Eagles' 30 to the 26-yard line. Nothing to worry about with the wind on that play.
Not at all. And how about who leads? Watch who leads the reverse. There's the handoff, and here comes #1. And how often do you see a defender try to avoid a quarterback to make a play? It's rare. But when your lead blocker is Cam Newton, and he is supersized quarterback, you try and come underneath it to make the play as Ronald Darby did instead of through him as most people would when they see a quarterback trying to block.
Wright gains 34, longest play of the day for the Panthers on offense. Now Newton can't find anyone, and he will be sacked for the 2nd time. Brandon Graham, first one in for the Eagles. Panthers had allowed only 8 sacks coming into this game. That's 2 in the first half. And at the end of it, it almost felt like Cam Newton backed himself into the sack. Because watch as he moves to the left, looking for an open target, and as he moves to the right, he's right back into Brandon Graham, who had made the pass rush, essentially seemed out of the play, gets up off the ground, and makes the play on Cam Newton. Loss of 11. 2nd down and 21 from the 37-yard line. Play clock is at 2. Newton calls timeout with the play clock winding down. We'll be right back after this message from Progressive. Cam Newton trots back onto the field. Charles, we talked about all the injuries in the secondary for the Eagles. Also without Haloti Ngata up front for the 3rd straight game. Combining on that sack with Brandon Graham was Bruce Hector, who was just re-signed by the Eagles this week.
Yeah, just brought up and made active. And Trayvon Hester became the starting defensive tackle next to Fletcher Cox today. But they also can rotate in those defensive ends in pass situations.
Second sack for Philadelphia today, setting the Panthers back to their 37-yard line.
And here's Michael Bennett inside with Fletcher Cox in pass rush.
Empty backfield as Newton throws near side. McCaffrey is forced out of bounds by Jenkins at the 33, a gain of just 4.
And just remember, with the wind, what is normally a makeable field goal is much more difficult. We saw it earlier with Elliott, where the ball ended up dying. So you may think about, if you can get it close enough, do you go 4-down territory for the Carolina Panthers?
Panthers have not converted on 3rd down today, facing a 3rd and 17. They must get to the 16-yard line for a 1st down, but can also get into field goal range as Newton takes off, and he will be marked down at the 21. So Cam Newton able to scramble for 12, and that will put the Panthers into some pretty good position for Graham Gano, who connected from 63 to win a game against the Giants 2 weeks ago.
Now I'm stuck on the word that you used there, Kenny, position, because I think that call by Norv Turner was done exactly for what it was, to position themselves for a field goal attempt. Nice quarterback draw, well executed by Cam Newton and his offensive line.
Gano has made 25 in a row. This from 39 from the left hash, and a flag prior to the snap.
False start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And this is not easy. You just mentioned 39, correct? It's all you can take. It's all you've got to get the ball through the post into that wind. That ball didn't exactly climb through. So now 5 extra yards. He's got to really hit it to get it through.
44-yard attempt. He's made 36 in a row from inside 50. From 44, this play is blown dead. Another flag.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 94. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And now I think they're going to punt the football. I think that you got to change it up now. 39 was difficult, snuck it through. 44 didn't really look like it had much of a chance as it was drifting wide right. Now they got to punt the football after 2 straight false starts.
Right, normally 49 wouldn't be an issue for Gano, but as you and Pam talked about, the wind is a factor, a huge one.
It changed the course of this drive in addition to those penalties for Carolina.
Polani keeps it out of the end zone, punted into the wind, and then it takes a Carolina bounce, and will be down inside the 5-yard line. Carson Wentz with a touchdown pass earlier to Alshon Jeffrey. Eagles passing touchdowns first 3 seasons. Jaws, McNabb, Van Brocklin, Wentz, 57. Coming into play today, now 58.
What a list there, huh? Those are darn good quarterbacks. And the Dutchman, Norm Van Brocklin, brought them their last world championship prior to last season. 1960, Franklin Field here in Philadelphia over the Green Bay Packers. And last season, the combination of Wentz and Nick Foles put them over the top again.
Wentz still has a long way to go this year. Eagles start from the 4. Coming out of the end zone, it's Clement. Corey Clement out to the 8-yard line as we hit the 2-minute warning in Philadelphia. Eagles leading the Panthers by 10. Back in Philadelphia with producer Eric Bandy and director Artie Kempner. How about the numbers for Jeffrey and Ertz in the first half?
I'd say that's working pretty well for them. Glad to have Jeffrey back from off-season surgery. Zach Ertz has been a monster from day one this season.
Second down and 6, Smallwood. Brought down at the 11. Time for a game break. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Patriots trailing 17-7 in Chicago when Cordero Patterson takes the ensuing kickoff 95 yards, his 6th career kickoff return for a touchdown, tied for 3rd most all-time, in fact. Patriots still trailing in this one 17-14. Kenny?
Carissa, he went to the University of Tennessee. We didn't have much to cheer about yesterday, but we'll cheer that one for Cordero Patterson.
We've seen that before from him.
Certainly have.
3rd down and 2. Smallwood is able to spin and then picks up a first down. Out to the 15-yard line.
And that's a heck of a pickup there for Philadelphia. They want to come out of the shadow of their own end zone. But the other part of it, too, is just being able to create that space. Just in case you have to punt the football. Excellent effort by Smallwood to reach the sticks. Your rule of thumb is to try and pick up 2 first downs here to help out your punter.
Minute 2 remaining. Eagles use a timeout. Let's check in with Kurt.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, we'll let you know how the Titans and Chargers ended up in London, plus how the Patriots are doing against the Bears, and a big AFC South matchup between Houston and Jacksonville. Right, Terry? Terry's a little stiff today. It's all coming up on the Visa halftime.
Where can we get one of those?
I thought he was going to say he's never sounded better.
Well, they've reset the clock to a minute 10. Eagles with 2 timeouts remaining, new set of downs. Carolina will get the ball following halftime. The screen, it's Smallwood. And Smallwood is still going out. Flag has been thrown. Smallwood is forced out of bounds around the 35-yard line of Carolina. Flag back at the 25 at the other end of the field. This one's coming back.
Holding offense with 79. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Replay.
Kenny, as the play was unfolding, I was thinking to myself, this could not have been better executed. I guess we're going to find out one reason why. If there's a hold on Brandon Brooks, makes it a lot tougher to get to the pass receiver on that play, but they had linemen out in front, dancing and moving in space. Let's see if we can pick it up. Here's Brooks, 79, working on number 4. Yes, it's right there. See the right hand? Clearly inside the pads and grasping them. Good detection by the officials, a good flag. Brooks went to his first Pro Bowl last year's forte, moving people in the run game.
From the 11, Wentz connects with Jeffrey. Down at the 14-yard line.
Thomas Davis had that one diagnosed right from the start, didn't he? And not only did he diagnose it, he finished it off with some hostility. Well played in the open field, and the ball control starting to tighten up a little bit. Clearly still in Philadelphia's favor. The last drive by Carolina helped tighten things up.
Both teams okay with letting this clock run.
Carolina should get the ball to start the second half, correct?
They will. Eagles keep it on the ground with Clement. And that will do it for the first half here in Philadelphia. Carson Wentz over 200 yards in the air and a touchdown. Eagles lead the Panthers by a 10-0 score. The play of the first half presented by DirecTV. More for your thing, that's our thing. The only touchdown to this point, Wentz to Jeffrey. 11-yard TD strike. That gave the Eagles a 7-0 lead. They added a field goal later in the second quarter. So the Eagles lead by 10. Time now for the Visa halftime report. We send it to Los Angeles. Kurt, take it away.
Don't that feel real funky, y'all?
Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive. In Philadelphia, as we get set for the third quarter, the 10-0 lead for the Eagles. Kenny Albert along with Charles Davis for the Carolina Panthers. Charles, shut out in the first half, only 19 plays on offense, under 100 yards. What do they need to do in the second half?
Still get back to their identity. They had some decent runs in the first half. Offensive line did a pretty nice job there. Just couldn't sustain drives, couldn't keep the ball in their favor. They need that, need to help their defense, even though they're coming out after the half. Still keep the defense off the field and keep Carson Wentz on the bench. This is a big starting half for the Carolina Panthers.
A terrific first half for Carson Wentz and the Eagles offense. This is Samuel on the return out to the 23-yard line. Cam Newton and the Carolina offense out onto the field as we head down to the field. Check in with Pam.
Hey there, Kenny. Talked to both coaches at halftime. First, Ron Rivera. He told me that we have to do a better job of protecting our quarterback. He said there were a couple of times when Cam wanted to go deep but didn't have time to throw the ball. He also said Cam has got to get the ball out of his hands faster. Defensively, he said those chunk plays are hurting us really badly. As for the Eagles, Doug Peterson telling me he wants a mix of run and some efficient passes. On defense, he says, I'm proud of my guys. They're doing a great job.
All right, thanks very much, Pam. Newton throws on first down, and it pops away from the intended receiver, Devin Funchess. Panthers had 4 possessions in the first half. They punted all 4 times. They've picked up only 4 first downs. And it was shut out, Charles, in the first half for the first time since week 5 of the 2016 season.
And Coach Dave Wannstedt said in our early kickoff show that this is one of the better defenses in the league, the Eagles. The Panthers can't help them out and make them even more dominant.
On 2nd and 10, Newton swings it out to DJ Moore, Philadelphia native. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 28-yard line. The rookie first-round pick out of Maryland returning home.
Going back to Pam's halftime report where she talked about Ron Rivera saying, we had some big plays dialed up, just didn't block it well enough for Cam to have time to throw it. Earlier this season, the Eagles secondary was susceptible to some of those big plays downfield. What I'm seeing in this game is much more like 2017, playing the game in front of them and rallying up and making tackles.
Panthers, Charles, have not converted on 3rd down today. 3rd down and 6. Newton moving to his left. He'll run for a first down. Out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Newton gains 14. Panthers move the chains.
And check out what Cam Newton sees here. Right there. And now he sees all this field, and he sees people with their backs to him. Talk about the guys in the green jerseys. So if you're going to run blitz and play man coverage, it's imperative that you keep the quarterback in the pocket, because when he breaks it and he can run like Newton, it becomes a big chunk of yardage and a first down.
More rushing yards than passing yards for Newton today.
Sounds like a Blake Bortles statistic in the playoffs last year.
38 on the ground, only 28 in the air. He'll add to that total here with 10 more to Funchess. So now he's even. 38 on the ground, 38 in the air.
I think he'd like to advance it more in the air at this point and get some of those chunk plays that Ron Rivera told Pam Oliver they're looking for. But this is a big drive for Carolina. Wind is in their favor from what we saw in the first half. Remember, this is only a 10-0 game. Philadelphia dominating statistically, but 10-0 on the scoreboard can be erased pretty quickly.
In Eagles territory from the Philadelphia 48, McCaffrey. Penalty marker after a 3-yard pickup.
Getting a straight arm out there.
Offense, number 12, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
Straight arm by McCaffrey. Malcolm Jenkins fights him, wrestles him to the ground. Had a hand up there almost on that horse collar. And they end up getting DJ Moore, the rookie, from right here in Philadelphia, with a holding penalty.
Ball spotted back at the 46-yard line. First down and 20. High snap handled by Newton. McCaffrey on the screen. Back across midfield to the 49 of the Eagles. McCaffrey now in his second season out of Stanford. Coming into this game, 117 scrimmage yards per game. Leading the team in receptions and targets this season. And he's running well, Charles, between the tackles.
Yeah, don't let him fool you. He always could.
Newton's pass is caught by Samuel for a first down. Curtis Samuel, the second-year receiver out of Ohio State, to the Eagles' 33-yard line.
That was more like it for the Carolina Panthers, what Norv Turner and Ron Rivera were looking for. Blocks it up well up front, allows Cam Newton to take his time in the pocket and allow a deeper breaking route to emerge. And Curtis Samuel, who they really want to get going back from preseason injury and irregular heartbeat, broken leg last year, having him back on the field is a big deal. He represents a lot of speed.
16-yard reception from the 33. It's McCaffrey. McCaffrey able to take it down to the 26-yard line of the Eagles for a gain of 7.
I wonder if Carolina noticed that Fletcher Cox wasn't on the field for Philadelphia. All right, he would be right in here in the defensive tackle area. He's not on the field, and they run right in there. Look at the double team of Moton 72 and Trey Turner 70. And they go right in that space and attack an opportunity.
I know you noticed, Charles. They planned the drive. Second down and 3. Here's McCaffrey, avoids a tackle, but not that one. Jordan Hicks.
Yeah, Jordan Hicks going to get the credit for it, Kenny, but the play's made by Michael Bennett. All right, everybody talks about Michael Bennett rushing the passer, and rightly so. But watch Bennett here coming inside. He works inside of Clark, gets pushed down, and now he stops Christian McCaffrey's feet and makes him bow outside instead of going straight to the hole where it's supposed to be designed. See that? That hesitates him, drops him back, and allows Jordan Hicks to make the play.
Loss of 7. Third down and 10. Newton hit as he throws, and the pass sails incomplete. Again, it's Bennett with the pressure.
So if you want to be a complete defensive player on the line, you've got to play the pass, you've got to play the run. We saw Bennett play the run, and now the pass there. I know that Cam Newton was inside the tackle box. Are they discussing where the ball went out of bounds for a potential grounding call? There's Bennett putting the pressure on him, Newton getting rid of it. There's Torrey Smith somewhat in the neighborhood. Heavy discussion going on this play.
And now the flag is thrown.
All right, remember the tackle box is about right there.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 1. A 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
And you see
Also
Torrey
is a loss of
Smith.
down. Brings up 4th down.
Did you see Torrey Smith late trying to move towards the ball to try and say he was in the area? The officials didn't buy it, called the intentional grounding. Cam Newton inside the tackle box getting rid of the football.
The field goal unit had come out onto the field prior to the flag. So now the Panthers will punt once again. Carter is deep.
Michael Pilardi, the punter, very good at pinning people deep. His defense could use his help here.
Remember, on their last possession of the first half, the field goal unit to come out, and then back-to-back penalties. Panthers wound up punting. And it's Samuel who downs it. Five Carolina possessions, 5 punts. Look at Carson Wentz, his quarterback rating in the first half. His best ever, Charles, in the first half of the game, 133.3.
Coaches always say the most improvement a player makes is between his first game and his second game of each new season. Carson Wentz is putting that as a lie, isn't he? Every game improving his quarterback rating.
The Eagles start from the 6-yard line. Their first possession in the third quarter. Wentz, quick release. Aguilar out across the 10-yard line, brought down by Kuechly.
With Philadelphia going into the wind here in the third quarter, I wonder if Eric Washington, the defensive coordinator, first year with Carolina, is thinking about being just a little more aggressive here. They also need a way to help out their offense. Having to go the long field has been tough for them today against Philadelphia. They might need a short field drive or two in order to increase their efficiency.
Movement prior to the snap.
False start. Offense number 17. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Penalties that drive coaches crazy because as a receiver, you can look inside and see the ball snapped before you move. No reason for him to jump out there. You don't even actually have to hear the snap count. You can just see the ball move and then make your move. There's Bradbury, number 24 in white, going where Jeffrey goes in the Carolina Panthers defense.
2nd and 10. Wentz throws near side. Taken down at the 9-yard line is Goddard. Mike Adams, University of Delaware, makes the tackle for the Panthers.
What a career he's had. 2-time Pro Bowler with Indianapolis. Played in the Super Bowl with Denver. Had a horrific hip injury at the University of Delaware that many had thought was almost a Bo Jackson type of a hip injury. They were wondering if his career could continue on. And boy, has it ever. We saw him earlier this year. 2 interceptions against the New York Giants. A terrific player, a great leader.
2 weeks ago, now in his 15th season. 3rd down and 6. Aguilar in motion. And the Eagles pick up a first down on the ground. Smallwood on 3rd and 6. Eagles move the chains.
And I believe he got a nice assist from number 73, Isaac Seumalo. Watch it at the end of the play. I think you're allowed to block a guy forward, but can you pull him? And look at Seumalo right there. Helps carry Smallwood forward. I'm not sure that that's part of the plan or is actually legal. I thought you were able to block him into it, but I didn't know you could carry him along.
From the 18-yard line on first down, Wentz fires over the middle, complete. Another first down, and Ertz takes it all the way out to the 37-yard line.
Zach Ertz again, a free release, no one over the top, so he's able to get into his route easily. And then look, missed tackle there, initially by Reed and by Adams, and the eyes of Carson Wentz coming from one target to another, picks out the right man.
12 straight completions for Carson Wentz, and now up the middle, another big hole for Smallwood. Gain of 10.
And it is supposed to be difficult to run against these defensive tackles of Carolina. But look at Seumalo, 73. Look at Brooks, 79. And now he's got an avenue, 71 Peters. And Kuechly has to go downfield and chop him down.
Remember, this drive started at the 6-yard line. Now out at the 46. 3 receivers to the right side. Wentz throws over the middle, caught in Panthers territory by Ertz. Muddle in the tackle. Gain of 8. 13 straight completions, a new career high for Carson Wentz. He's 19 of 22 in the game, 243 yards and a touchdown. On 2nd and 2, it's Clement. To Los Angeles we go. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Texans up 13-0 in Jacksonville when Deshaun Watson connects with DeAndre Hopkins, his 4th of the year. Cody Kessler now in for the Jags. Houston leads this one 20-0 in the 3rd. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Carissa.
It's legitimate to ask what's going on in Jacksonville at this point.
Another first down, Charles, for the Eagles. Ball comes loose. Big hit by Luke Kuechly. And it's recovered by Wentz.
Said that a few times in your career, haven't you? Kuechly at the end of it. That ball's already starting to make its move. And look at Wentz, number 11, diving in to rescue the football for his Eagles. Look at it. Sees the play and dives in ahead of Eric Reid.
Small one in the backfield. 2nd down and 8. Eagles gain 2 yards on that fumble. Wentz to Goddard. Another Eagles first down. Reid the tackle. Off the play fake. Goddard gains 17.
Watch at the end of this play, understanding he's going to take the hit from the safety as Goddard, the rookie out of South Dakota State, but still possesses the football, absorbs the shot from Reid, and picks up a big first down.
From the 25 on first down. Smallwood gains 3 down to the 22. Eagles have already picked up 5 first downs on this drive alone, Charles.
And Kenny, the new rule, when I say the new rules, the rules and the emphasis on safety, which is exactly what we need in this league, have often made the guys down the middle of the field a little more hesitant about the big plays they make. I thought Reid hesitated a little bit on the pass to Goddard. And I think guys and receivers feel like they can run in the middle and make more plays than ever, knowing about the new rules in effect.
11th play of the drive for Philadelphia. Wentz moving to his right. Now he throws to the far side. And the catch is made by Ertz. Another Philadelphia first down. Gain of 11.
What a play. And the catch was terrific. But even before the catch was Zach Ertz realizing his quarterback had moved out of the pocket and came back and presented a target to him, showed him his numbers, and completed the catch.
Ertz over 100 yards for the 3rd time in the last 4 games. 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Wentz with time, throws, broken up. Great play by Adams in the end zone. Pass intended for Goddard.
We just talked about Mike Adams from Delaware. Climbs the back of Goddard. I know the fans think that he got there early. Let's take a look. And he did get there early. But it's a bang-bang. Remember, we're watching it in replay, and it's slowed down. Mike Adams goes across the top and gets rewarded for making a play on the football, even though I do believe he got there a tad early.
That ends the streak. Wentz had completed 15 straight pass attempts. Out of the shotgun on 2nd down. Wentz throws on the slant. It is Ertz. And he's brought down inside the 5-yard line by Shaq Thompson, a gain of 9.
Kenny, you've been around the game a long time. The term RPO right now, which is so in vogue, run pass option, it has really overtaken the game, but we're seeing a good number of them on this drive with Carson Wentz in this offense, and they're using it to great effectiveness. You're putting a real stressful situation on defenders trying to figure out what to do on the run or the pass, and he's finding open targets.
Now 3rd down and 1. 14th play of the drive for Carson Wentz and the Eagles. It started back at their 6. Wentz on 3rd down, hands it off. This is Adams. Josh Adams, the rookie out of Notre Dame. Needed a yard for the first down.
Look at that up front. Look at the guys filling the gap there. Shaq Thompson, 54. Thomas Davis, 58. Dontari Poe, 95. Made it difficult.
Thomas Davis is the injured Panther. Thomas Davis poked in the eye at the end of that previous play. It is 4th down and less than a yard for the Eagles. They leave the offense on the field. 2 for 2 today, Charles, on 4th down.
Last time they had one of these, this short yardage, they snuck it with Carson Wentz. See if they go the same strategy.
They do. It is Wentz once again. Forces his way forward. So Wentz picks up the 1st down, shy of the goal line. Wentz does it again.
It's a lot of credit inside. Watch the surge. 62 Kelsey, 79 Brooks, 73 Sayamalu were the inside 3, working against the big fellas of Carolina. Peters comes in there, 65 Lane Johnson. Look at him make it
back to the line. Wentz looking for the sneak across the goal line, but he could not get there.
Well defended, not just the big tackles inside, but they got help from the back line. Mike Adams, 29 in addition. And now they're bringing in an extra offensive lineman. Looks like Halapoulivaati Vaitai, number 72. Better known around here as Big V.
Big V along with 2 backs, Clement and Smallwood. Thomas Davis back on the field for Carolina. On 2nd and goal. Wentz for the end zone. Touchdown. Dallas Goedert.
How about the dunk there by Dallas Goedert? A nod to his basketball roots. Always wanted to be a hoopster, and his mom said, at your height, son, you have a much better chance of playing football than you do basketball in a big way. And mom had the right intuition.
The extra point is good. A 17-play drive. 2nd touchdown of his rookie season for Goedert. Carolina defense, Charles, out on the field for over 9 minutes on that last Eagles drive.
Those guys have to be tired over there. The defensive front of the Panthers bearing the brunt of that run play, trying to rush the passer. Philadelphia with surgical precision took the ball downfield, put in the end zone.
17-play drive, matching the Eagles' longest this season. DJ Moore had trouble with it, fumbled twice last week. Brings it out across the 20. Well, Charles, World Series gets underway Tuesday on Fox from Fenway Park. Dodgers and the Red Sox. Game 1 of the Fall Classic Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Oh boy, I can't wait for that one. And a guy who would love to be playing in the World Series, Super Eagles fan Mike Trout of the California Angels. One of the better players in the league. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
He has a new manager. Brad Ausmus named the Angels manager earlier today.
Yeah, I grew up on that California Angels thing. I still need to make the adjustment.
Newton's pass off the hands of Devin Funchess to Los Angeles. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Lions up 2014. Matt Stafford finds Michael Robertson 4 yards out for his 2nd of the day. 2-point conversion, no good. Lions up 26-14. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Carissa.
That ball just barely escaping the fingertips of Fletcher Cox, who's had a mammoth year for the Eagles, putting pressure on quarterbacks and knocking down runners.
2nd down and 10. Newton throws. Catch is made by Moore. Out at the 29-yard line. 3rd down and 1 coming up for the Panthers. Carolina with only 7 first downs in the game. They have not scored. 3rd down and 1 coming up after the team switch ends. 3/4 of the books here in Philadelphia. Scoreless first quarter. Eagles 10 of the second. A touchdown of the third. Lead Carolina 17-0. As we begin the 4th. 3rd down and 1. Panthers have converted only once on 3rd down. It's Newton. Good second effort by Cam Newton. And he picks up a Panthers first down.
This tells you just how unique he is as a quarterback. He is your short yardage runner and not on a sneak either.
How about this, Charles? Cam Newton just set an NFL record. He passes former Eagle Michael Vick. Most rushing first downs by a quarterback in NFL history.
Our colleague Michael Vick.
Yes.
Watching from back in the studios in Los Angeles.
The 344th career rushing first down for Cam Newton. The second today. Newton to the outside. It's Funchess. Funchess out at the 40-yard line. Close to another first down. Gain of about 9 3/4.
And remember what Pam Oliver told us earlier in the game about how the wind will jump up and swirl on you and calm occasionally. The whole deal. This is where the wind has been most difficult, going in this direction. And here they are in the 4th quarter, down 17. So their task made a little bit tougher by the geography of this quarter.
2nd down and 1. Newton to the outside. Torrey Smith won a Super Bowl with the Eagles last year. Another first down for Carolina.
That almost became one of those plays that got Carolina back in it in a hurry. Made Jalen Mills miss on the corner. If he could have kept his foot, he could have turned it into a foot race. And Torrey Smith will race just about anyone in the league.
Smith shaken up on that 8-yard reception. Norv Turner told us Torrey Smith works as hard as anyone he's ever been around. Quite a statement from the long-time offensive coordinator and head coach in the NFL. First season with Carolina. This is Jarius Wright. Wright close to another first down, about a yard shy.
That's a pretty play and extra effort from Jarius Wright. Being able to make that play. Coming over from Minnesota's first year in Carolina. He's what I would call 3rd down dependable. And he makes a nice play on 1st down for the Panthers there.
2nd down and 1. Just over 2 minutes gone. 4th quarter. Eagles lead by 17. Off the fake to McCaffrey. Newton complete to Devin Funchess at the Eagles' 37-yard line. Newton on first down, finds McCaffrey. And McCaffrey knocked down at the 31. Gain of 6. Cam Newton by distance today, Charles. Only 2 passes over 9 yards.
Ron Rivera told our colleague Pam Oliver they'd like to throw some of those deeper, but they haven't blocked it up well enough to allow him enough time to throw it downfield. They've got to find a way. And Fletcher Cox impacts anyone trying to throw the ball downfield with his pressure from the inside, now lined up over the nose.
Fletcher Cox playing in his 100th NFL game. 2nd down and 4 as Newton could not make the connection in the vicinity of both Olsen and Wright.
And Greg Olsen is a guy that they were so happy to get back. Had 4 catches last week at Washington in his first game. I think he missed 1 snap on offense coming back from a broken foot. He's had 2 targets today and just 1 catch for 4 yards.
Missed 3 games earlier this season. Suffered the injury back in week 1. 3rd down and 3.
Got Olsen split out. He started wide. Now he's going across the formation.
Play clock at 1, and Newton uses a timeout. Timeout called prior to that snap. First taken by Carolina. Trailing 17-0. 3rd down and 3 when we return. All punts today for Carolina on their last 2 possessions. The field goal unit came on the field, but then the Panthers lost yardage due to penalties.
And in this situation, Philadelphia doesn't often blitz, but they might want to try and heat him up here.
3rd down and 3. Panthers must get to the 27. Newton with time underneath. First down for DJ Moore to the Eagles' 14-yard line.
Eagles only rush 4. Carolina's deep offensive line handles that well. And watch the patience of Cam Newton in the pocket. Lets everything clear here and here, and then has his target open in the middle. So the good job of pass protection by his guys up front, and Cam Newton's patience in the pocket to allow the route to develop creates the first down.
16-yard pass play. This is the deepest penetration for Carolina as McCaffrey shifts into the backfield. Off the fake to C.J. Anderson. This is Curtis Samuel inside the 5 for the end zone. Touchdown. The Panthers finally on the board. 2nd touchdown of the season for Samuel.
And I like that design by Norv Turner because they took a page out of Philadelphia's book with the misdirection. And they used McCaffrey. They brought him from in motion, put him back there to say, here it comes. Looks like an option play and gets all the flow going left. And look what's back on the right side. White shirts able to engage his blockers. Samuel able to see the lane, cuts inside. Moton doesn't even have to throw a block because Samuel's speed and decisiveness in running the football gets him to the end zone.
The extra point attempt from Gano is no good. Wide to the right. This one last week against Washington. 17-6. Eagles lead early 4th quarter. Best drive of the game for Carolina. 11 plays, 80 yards. Their first possession that does not end with a punt. And then the missed extra point.
Good drive, an impressive payoff. This game is far from over. Carolina's defense needs to get out there and help out.
11-point game. The Eagles get the ball back. It's Conner on the return from the 8. DeAndre Conner out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Good starting field position for Philadelphia. Best of the game for Carson Wentz and the Eagles. Only 4 incompletions, couple of touchdowns, 281 yards in his 5th game back.
A couple first downs picked up with a quarterback sneak. A key recovered fumble that he dove into the pile and grabbed for his team.
Ten and a half remaining. Eagles lead by 11. Clement lined up to the right of Wentz. 3 receivers to the left side. Last Eagles possession, they went 17 plays, 94 yards. This time a shorter field. Out of the backfield, it's Clement. Shoved out of bounds after a gain of 5.
Is that one tipped, Kenny?
It was. Dante Jackson got a piece of it.
That was really nice concentration by Clement, able to stay with it after Jackson tipped the ball and knocked it out of its normal spiral.
Wentz completed 15 straight attempts earlier. He's now 24 of 28. Second down at 5. Jeffrey makes the catch, wrapped up by Bradbury. 6th reception for Alshon Jeffrey today. Gain of just 2. 3rd down and 3, and a big play coming up here for this Carolina defense.
They're going to rotate in some fresh guys on the defensive front to try and rush the passer. Julius Peppers got his first sack of the year last week in Washington. He's back on the field now, number 90.
Addison out once again. Injured his back earlier. His return is now doubtful. 3rd down and 3, empty backfield. Eagles must get to the 40 for a first down, and they do. It's Ertz across midfield, his 9th catch of the game.
Plenty of time there. And here's Ertz. Even though he had Dante Jackson, the corner, over it, he didn't reroute him. He didn't get his hands on him. He wasn't physical at all. And look at this passing window for Carson Wentz. He sees the open area and rifles it in there before Shaq Thompson can react. That's a big-time throw against a really alert defender. Thompson, a hybrid outside linebacker, strong safety type, unable to make the play.
Play clock winding down. Eagles get the snap away. This is Aguilar. No gain on the play. Big day for Zach Ertz. 9 receptions, 138 yards. Down to Pam.
All righty, Zach Ertz learned early on in his career, if you want to stay on the field all 3 downs, you better show proficiency in blocking for the run game. When I spoke with him, Ertz told me how earlier in his career the Eagles would take him off the field to insert the now retired Brent Selleck on a lot of first downs. Now he's proud to call himself a 3-down tight end. He's on the field so much, guys, he now leads all tight ends in the NFL in snaps per game.
How about that? That would have jumped things up.
And now it's Kuechly who comes in to wrap up Wentz.
Are they calling him down or incomplete? They were indecisive on it for me.
Ruling on the field is that the quarterback was down by contact prior to releasing the pass.
And there's Luke Kuechly, number 59. You know what he did really well? You see how he got his arms up first? And that took away the sight line for Carson Wentz. See the arms right there? And then when Wentz had to go down, Kuechly finished it off. That's one of the areas of the game that Luke Kuechly wanted to improve this year, finishing his pass rushes and sacks. And that's his 2nd sack in the last 3 weeks.
And the reason there was not a flag thrown for horse collar, quarterback was in the pocket.
He wasn't outside of the tackle box. Well done by Luke Kuechly.
Please put 7 minutes 34 seconds on the game clock. 7:34.
They will run 10 seconds off the clock as per Clete Blakeman. Kuechly with his 2nd sack of the year. 3rd down and 18.
And Pam Oliver, Zach Ertz can block now and does it well. Now they want him to be a pass catcher on this play.
He's already caught 9 today. Wentz to the far side. It's ruled to completion at the 48-yard line by Jeffrey, but not nearly enough. Eagles will send out the punting unit.
The Panthers defense did their job pretty well and able to get the ball back. Eagles have an opportunity to pin them deep, punting from near midfield.
Eagles punting for only the 2nd time today. Cameron Johnston, through the first 6 weeks, leading the league with an average of over 50. So the Panthers get the ball back. Punt out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Touchdown on their last drive, down by 11. Aerial coverage brought to you by State Farm, with the Eagles leading the Panthers 17-6. Kenny Albert, Charles Davis, Pam Oliver from Lincoln Financial Field. 6:52 remaining. Panthers back on offense, starting from their 13-yard line. 3 receivers plus the tight end Olsen. Newton from the shotgun on first down. Near side, it's Torrey Smith, who left the game earlier. He was cleared from concussion protocol. Ronald Darby makes the tackle out at the 17-yard line.
And with the clock continuing to tick and the Panthers needing points and needing them quickly, that's exactly how the Eagles want to play. You can catch it, but no yards after catch. Darby putting him on the deck.
2-possession game. On 2nd and 6. Flag is thrown in the secondary. as the catch was made by Smith for a Panthers first down.
That's a long throw, too, all the way across field, and Cam Newton puts it on target.
Gain of 14.
Prior to the pass, holding defense, number 53. The penalties declined. Result of the down is a first down.
Nigel Bradham, penalty declined. 1st and 10 at the 31.
Ball's getting out of Cam's hands pretty quickly. Able to get it out to the wider parts of the field. Eagles counting on their front 4 for their pass rush.
From the 31 on first down. Newton with time. Can't find anyone. Still on his feet. And now will run for it. Marked down at the first touch. At the 39-yard line.
Good note there, Kenny, is where he goes down initially now. Here's the coverage in the secondary, which helped Cam Newton flush because there wasn't anywhere to throw the football. There's Greg Olsen, having called his name nearly enough for the Carolina Panthers' taste.
2nd down and 3, high snap. Pass is caught by Damiere Byrd for another Panthers first down out at the 48.
Fletcher Cox coming off the field to get a quick breather, and they're running out. I believe Trayvon Hester, number 90. Fletcher Cox has played more plays this year than he has throughout his career. Need to give him a little break every now and then.
83% of the plays coming into this game. Newton goes deep, and it's caught by Jarius Wright at the Eagles' 25-yard line.
And that's what the Panthers have been seeking for weeks. This is what Pam Oliver talked to us about, that Ron Rivera was looking for. The opportunity to block it up front and give the receivers time to get downfield and Cam Newton a chance to deliver. And Jarius Wright did exactly that.
28 yards for Wright, 5 straight completions for Newton. Make it 6, it's Funchess down to the Eagles' 18 with 4.5 remaining.
Yeah, the Eagles' strategy is to lay back, make the tackle on the play, but the Panthers are eating up nice chunks of yardage and not using up nearly as much clock as the Eagles' defense wanted them to.
Carolina punted on their first 5 possessions. They drove 80 yards on their last. On the move once again. 2nd down and 3. Newton to the end zone. Funchess, touchdown! Touchdowns for Carolina on back-to-back drives. Newton connects with Funchess to pull Carolina within 5. And now they will go for 2, look to make it a 3-point game.
And they made that look fairly easy going downfield. Watch Darby, look at his eyes looking inside, and he bites on the first move. An absolute cardinal sin as a cornerback with that type of a lead and the clock in your favor. He bites on the inside move, a really nice double move by Devin Funchess, and Cam Newton delivers it, and here comes Carolina trying to get within 3.
2 fourth-quarter touchdowns for the Carolina Panthers.
McCaffrey's going to split out wide, and he has excellent receiving skills.
McCaffrey shifts into the backfield. 2-point conversion attempt. Newton, Jarius Wright, he's in. The Panthers have pulled to within 3 points with 4:08 remaining here in Philadelphia. First, Newton to Funchess, and then the 2-point conversion to Wright. Eagles had a 17-0 lead. Panthers with touchdowns on their last 2 drives during the 4th quarter to pull to within 3. 7 plays, 87 yards. Newton perfect, 6 of 6, and 1 scramble for 8 yards.
And who would have thought they'd get this much done without really having Greg Olsen, the tight end, be a huge part of it? Now the defense has to do its part.
Gano kicks it deep. Potter from the 5. Potter out to the 25-yard line. So with 4:02 remaining, 3-point game, and as you said, Charles, huge series coming up here for the Carolina defense.
Do you remember earlier in the game when Philadelphia was doing a nice job of creating space for their runners and moving people off the line of scrimmage? It's that time again, but I do think that Doug Peterson trusts Carson Wentz's arm more, so we'll see a lot of those RPOs right? We'll see those quick passes, try and get it out to the perimeter to guys, and Zach Ertz has had such a monster game. If you're Carolina, you've got to take him on the line of scrimmage and not let him just get into his route so easily.
So the Eagles with a 3-point lead have the ball back. Big game for Carson Wentz. David Mayo is the injured Carolina Panther backup linebacker. As Mayo heads off the field, we check in with Kurt.
And the Browns are checking into the end zone against the Bucs. Nick Chubb, maybe the guy now with Carlos Hyde traded to Jacksonville. Little 1-yard score. The Browns trying to do the comeback thing. And the Bucs are trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. We'll find out which one happens. Kenny, Charles, Pam?
Nick Chubb averaging, what, 10 yards per carry this season?
Yeah, that's going to come down a little bit now that he'll be the primary ball carrier. But here's the other thing for Carolina. Remember, they had to use a timeout earlier in the half. Down to just 2. Defense has to make it work.
The Eagles start from the 25-yard line. Wentz throws on first down. It's Aguilar. Eric Reed over to make the tackle. Out at the 28-yard line, a gain of 3.
His best play of the game, I think, for Eric Reed. Nice open field tackle on Aguilar. Philadelphia wants those one-on-one routes, but Reed didn't allow that to defeat him. Made a nice play in the open field.
3.5 remaining. Eagles letting this clock run down, using as much time as possible off the play clock. Smallwood in the backfield, 2nd down and 8. Play clock at 2. Off the fake to Smallwood. Wentz connects with Smallwood, but he will be wrapped up by Kuechly back at the 25-yard line. A loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for Philadelphia.
And watch Kuechly, watch Munnerlyn. Neither one of them gets fooled. They've seen the misdirection the whole game. They stay at home, and Kuechly runs to it as he reads the offensive lineman, and so does Captain Munnerlyn. Munnerlyn's got it if the play bounces outside. He helps spill it inside, and Kuechly is there to put down Smallwood. That was well diagnosed, well played by those 2 veteran defenders.
So it is now 3rd down and 10. Eagles must get to the 35 for a first down. Wentz throws, and it's Bradbury who makes the play, stepping in front of Jeffrey. So James Bradbury breaks up the pass. Clock stops at 2:28. Carolina defense comes up big, forcing a 3-and-out.
Didn't take much off of the clock, and Bradbury misses him at the line of scrimmage but doesn't panic and runs the route in reverse, runs right at the hip of Alshon Jeffrey, and ends up obscuring his vision as the ball gets to him. Hasn't been an easy day for Bradbury, but what a time to come up big for the Carolina Panthers.
First 3-and-out since the first Eagles possession of the game. Johnston punting from his 15-yard line as the Panthers get the ball back from the 22. On the return out to the 32-yard line, Damiere Byrd. So with 2:17 remaining, Panthers with good field position and 2 timeouts. They've scored twice in the 4th quarter. First was Curtis Samuel from 14 yards out. He takes it in. And then on their last possession, Newton connects in the end zone with Devin Funchess. Then the 2-point conversion. They had missed an extra point earlier. On their last 2 drives, more yards than their first 5 combined. Those drives resulted in 5 punts.
And remember, they started this comeback going against the wind in the 4th quarter. Hasn't been an issue for them. They've solved it thus far. One last drive with a great opportunity.
From the 31 on first down. Newton's pass is broken up. Ronald Darby getting a hand on it.
And how badly do you think Darby wanted that? For so many different reasons. Obviously to help close this out for his team, but he's the one who gave up the touchdown to Funchess on the last drive, looking inside and got beat on the double move. At the end of this route, he became the receiver. Looked like inadvertently Greg Olsen went down. I didn't see interference on that play.
2nd and 10. Empty backfield for Carolina. Newton throws, and that's off the mark, intended for DJ Moore. 3rd and 10 upcoming. Panthers must get to the 41. Newton on third down, too high for Funchess. .206 on the clock.
They still have their 2 timeouts and would get another one on the 2-minute warning. But at this stage, they're going to go for it.
What would you do here?
At this stage, I'd punt the football with my defense with the 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning.
Right.
But I understand why they want to possess it. They're not sure they'd get it back.
Boston might lose the 2-minute warning because of the punt return. Fourth down. Newton steps up, under pressure, throws, and it's complete for a first down. Torrey Smith, the ex-Eagle, down the sideline to the 35 and finally brought down. A huge play as Newton connects with Smith on 4th and 10. The Panthers keep the drive alive as we hit the 2-minute warning in Philadelphia. A minute 55 remaining. A huge play prior to the break. Newton connected with Torrey Smith. 35 yards on the catch and run on 4th down. It is now 1st and 10 from the Eagles' 34. Carolina 2 touchdowns here in the 4th quarter. As Newton hits McCaffrey inside the 30. Shoved out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Back-to-back really nice plays by Cam Newton, but how about the one that got him in this position? Look at him in the pocket, steps forward on 4th down, jumps off of his feet so he has no power. It's an all-arm throw, and takes the hit from Michael Bennett and still completes the ball downfield to Torrey Smith. That's an extraordinary play by quarterback Cam Newton to keep his hopes alive for his team.
Panthers trailed 17-0 earlier in this quarter. Newton has that pass batted down by Malcolm Jenkins.
Saw the Eagles abuse those RPOs to their advantage today. That was an RPO there. Cam Newton faking it inside, and Malcolm Jenkins on the pass rush sees it. If I'm Carolina, I'm thinking hard about end zone. The misses today for field goal kickers have been on this end, and all of them have missed to the right. It's a difficult task for them. Think end zone first if you're Carolina.
Right now it would be a 44-yard attempt. 3rd down and 2. Play clock winding down. Newton complete. First down. McCaffrey inside the 10. And dragged out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
And how's that for having how's that for having Christian McCaffrey as your outlet, as your check down? Newton looks downfield and just sees it right there. McCaffrey into the flat, runs routes as well as a receiver, has the hands of a receiver. I thought he's the best route runner coming out of college in his class, and that included all receivers, and you see evidence of it every Sunday.
A minute 39 remaining. 1st and goal from the Philadelphia 4. Newton throws, end zone incomplete. Funchess, the intended receiver.
And this is a twofold thing for Carolina, too. Of course, score number 1, but number 2, can you bleed clock and take it away from the Eagles who have 3 timeouts left?
Panthers trailed by 17. Largest comeback in franchise history to win was 17. But in the 4th quarter, their largest comeback to win is from 10 points. They trailed by 17 in the 4th today. Fullback Alex Arma on the field, number 40. Here is Newton. Newton down at the 1. Nigel Bradham with the first contact. Clock continues to run.
That was old single wing football right there. If you're a veteran of this game, that's just simply a tailback taking the ball, everyone blocking to that side, and here comes the big guy. There's Arma 40 leading, Clark 74. Nice job by Bradham to slow him up and allow the rest of the green shirts to get there.
Timeout taken by the Eagles, stopping the clock with a minute 25. As you mentioned, Charles, they want some time, obviously, if the Panthers score. It will be 3rd and goal from the Philadelphia 1 following that 3-yard pickup by Cam Newton. Doug Peterson's Eagles led 17-0. Carolina with touchdowns on their last 2 drives.
Remember, Newton is their best short yardage runner. They just came full house, single wing to one side. It's not out of the realm that they would think about it again. But I think you might have some run-pass option built into this one for Cam.
Arnold, the fullback, remains in. McCaffrey lined up behind him. Extra blockers on the left side. Newton fakes the handoff, throws, end zone, touchdown! Greg Olsen! The Panthers with touchdowns on 3 straight possessions in the 4th quarter.
How about that one? The ability of the Panthers to show a full load backfield, high formation, everyone up front, fake it inside, and finally Greg Olsen able to have an impact on this game. Beautifully delivered ball, beautifully conceived play. Olsen fakes the block, gets out into the flat, and it's right on him.
First touchdown of the season for Olsen. Here is Gano. The extra point is good. 4-point game. We'll be back right after this message from Progressive. Greg Olsen with the go-ahead touchdown for the Carolina Panthers. Doug Peterson's Eagles had a 17-0 lead here in the 4th. Check out Cam Newton's numbers, Charles, in the 4th quarter alone.
That's a day for a lot of people, and what a job he and his offense have done here. And the defense has made a lot stand up as well to give them opportunities to take the ball downfield. Can that defense stand up one more time as Carson Wentz gets the ball again for Philadelphia?
So the Panthers, who punted on their first 5 possessions of this game, have scored 21 points in the 4th quarter to take the lead. Here's Carter on the return for Philadelphia. DeAndre Carter out to the 30. Gano in on the tackle.
Now, we didn't show you this earlier, but we saw it. This is before a kickoff in the 4th quarter. And I remember talking with our crew privately and said it's a little early for the dancing to begin, and it surely has been. Curtis Samuel on the reverse. Cam Newton to Devin Funchess on the double move. Cam Newton to Greg Olsen in the end zone. And now Carolina Panthers have a lead they're trying to protect as the Eagles start their last drive.
Carolina flipped the switch here in the 4th quarter. That huge 4th and 10 completion to Torrey Smith kept that last drive alive. And now the Eagles go to work. Wentz going deep for Jeffrey. There is a flag. 2 flags are thrown, now a 3rd.
And Kenny, it had to be done. And what I mean by that is the flags had to be thrown, but James Bradberry had to make this play. Better the penalty than the touchdown.
Defense, number 24. Ball replaced at the spot of the foul. First down in Philadelphia.
Clearly beaten, Alshon Jeffrey. Ball was out there. Bradberry did what he had to do after being beaten on the route, which was make that play. It's a long penalty, but at the same time, he didn't give up the touchdown.
48 yards on the penalty, but you're right, Charles, he saved a potential touchdown. Eagles need a touchdown, trailing by 4 from the 22-yard line of the Carolina Panthers. Wentz, his pass was it picked off, or did it hit the turf?
They're determining it as an interception, I believe, pointing towards the Eagles' end zone.
Wow.
There's Reed, and he's got it underneath. I think when they take a look at it, I'm not sure we'll see that count.
We are under 2 minutes. It was ruled an interception. All turnovers are reviewed.
They called it an interception on the field. The standard has been, unless it's irrefutable, all right, you've got to stay with the call. Right there, that ball does not look like it's possessed as it's hitting the ground with one hand on it. Great play by Reed, but I think that the Eagles have a legitimate case that that's not an interception.
ruled an interception on the field. We welcome in Dean Blandino from Los Angeles. Dean, what do you think?
Yeah, so he has to maintain control all the way to the ground. To me, it looks like the nose of the ball touches the ground. He doesn't have control. I think this is an incomplete pass.
I do too, and Dean, I believe the ball was tipped to start with and turned into a flutter play off of Carson Wentz. Eric Reid had the opportunity to finish this thing off right there, but I believe it'll be a reverse, Dean.
I agree with you, Charles. Ball's on the ground. He doesn't have control.
All right, thanks, Dean.
It's a big, big call, obviously.
So Clete Blakeman taking a look at it. In communication with the folks at the command center in New York.
And it was the RPO again, the run pass option. Wentz fakes it inside and is looking for his target. I think he was looking for Ertz across the middle. But let's see if someone got a hand on the ball. I thought it was tipped, and that ended up doing that. Nope, just got away from him. Just absolutely got away from him. Did not get tipped. Yep. You guys remember earlier in the ball game when he just dropped it trying to throw a pass? The ball just came out of his hands. Sometimes when you have dry hands on a day like this, the ball will do that. But it almost turned into the play that finished things off for Carolina. And it very well could have, because they did call an interception on the field.
So it will either be Carolina football or second down for the Eagles if the ruling on the field is overturned.
If I'm the Carolina defense, I'm getting prepared to be back out there.
Again, ruled an interception on the field. There must be indisputable visual evidence in order to overturn the call.
But in this situation, I'd have both of my units set and ready to go, because you don't know which way the call's going to go. Carolina offense is on the field. Peterson and Wentz are discussing, if we get the ball back, what do we do?
Now the defense is coming back out for Carolina.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The ball we got second down. Please correct 1 minute, 6 seconds.
I think the league has done a really nice job of going with the standard of what was called on the field, and it has to be clear to reverse it. I thought in this case it was clear. He did not have possession. Ball's hitting the ground with one hand on it. No possession there, in my opinion, and that's what they saw in New York. I know if you're Ron Rivera, you're not happy about it because you had a chance to close things out, but I do believe that was the correct call.
Carson Wentz has now gone 171 attempts without an interception.
And a little bit of an assist there, because that would have ended the streak.
So the ruling on the field reversed. No interception for Eric Reid. 2nd and 10 for the Eagles.
And this is a test for the Carolina defense. Thought they might have ended the game. Do they still have their heads in it enough to make some plays down the stretch?
1 minute 6 remaining.
Whip. Hey, yellow whip, yellow whip, hey, yellow whip. Yellow, yellow.
From the Carolina 22, it is Smallwood inside the 15 to the 14-yard line with exactly 1 minute remaining. Gain of 8. Eagles need a touchdown. 3rd down and 2. Down to 40 seconds.
20.
Wentz on 3rd down. Throws to the end zone. Broken up. Intended for Jeffrey. 4th down coming up.
It looked like Eric Reid and Mike Adams, 25 and 29, converged. Nope, it was Adams and Luke Kuechly, 59, and Adams had a chance to finish it there. He's the best guy to catch the football, and it bounces off of his pads. Game over if he does it. Look at Kuechly taking away Alshon Jeffrey's ability to get to the football. A nice double team by the Panthers.
It comes down to this, 4th down. 31 seconds on the clock. Wentz scattered the field. Have the pass knocked away. Scooped up by Jason Peters for a moment. And then the Panthers fall on it.
And what a tremendous job by the Carolina Panthers. Thought they ended the game on an interception by Eric Reed. It's overturned. Mike Adams has it in his hands, doesn't catch it, and they still finish this one off. An incredibly gutsy performance by the Carolina Panthers, especially in the 4th quarter.
So Ron Rivera's Panthers down 17 of the 4th, find a way. They score 3 touchdowns, and then their defense doing their job on that final Eagles possession.
Kenny, it's not as easy as people think to think that you've ended the game, have a call overturned, and you have to go back out there and do it again. And they did it for multiple plays, and they get to go to Carolina with a huge victory in their pockets.
Great job by our entire crew. Our producer, Eric Bandia, director, Artie Kempner, technical producer, Clyde Taylor, our associate director, Tyler Dare, statistician, Barry Hockhauser, our spotter, Ben Boma. The Carolina Panthers go to 4-2. Eagles drop to 3-4. They are headed for London. Take on the Jaguars next Sunday. Huge comeback for Carolina. Back to Philadelphia in a moment.